Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It is Thursday. I almost said it was Wednesday. My days are all messed up because the kids head off school on Monday. So it's Thursday. On Thursday, I have been going wild announcing all these new themed projects, themed makes I want to do. I did have one planned for today, but I was looking at it and I just decided I don't want to start it now. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is look at day 2 of my Halloween countdown from Yarnaceous Fibers. This is the Something Grim. Oh no! Where's the paper? I was good and actually put it in the trash can. Something dark and grim. Something dark and grim. That's what I want to say. Yes! Something dark and grim Halloween countdown. And then we're going to do a check-in on some of the other projects I have been working on. So, kind of a cobbled together thing, but I just was looking around and didn't want to start. I don't think it's timely to do the plan, so we'll wait on it. Let's look at day 2 of my Something Dark and Grim. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is pretty. This is called Sleeping Beauty Briar Veil, and it's a very kind of light, I'm going to call it peachy tan. I'm not sure if that's a color, but that's what I'm going with. Here you go. Very pretty. It's a very lovely neutral tone. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn. Well, looking at this one, it's definitely not a fade. I don't think. It's beautiful. I can see how that again would fit in like a gothic fairy tale feeling thing. And we're still on the Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is my favorite of the classic Disney movies. I feel like you have to separate them now between classic and modern. I don't know. How do you feel about that? So there you go. Day 2. I love it. It's beautiful. It's very soft. I didn't tell you that's on her Salta fingering weight, and it seems like it's a great yarn. I'm going to end up with roughly 600 gram hanks of yarn, 620 yards if my math is correct. I'm sorry, 620 grams, not yards. That would not be correct. If you have any pattern thoughts or ideas, I'd love to hear it. Let's go to my updates though. I brought 4. Why am I yawning? Oh, I brought 4 projects in to look at today. The first one is the Caron-O-Rama event where I'm trying to use all of my Caron yarn, specifically the cakes that are so lovely and I'm very obsessed with. I will admit I have a bit of an obsession with them, but I use them and I don't use them. I buy them, they stay on my shelf, and I ooh and ah and dream about what to make with them, and I do other things. So now we're going to make those dreams come true and use the cakes. Starting with my anniversary cakes. This I was actually just working on while I was drying out of the shower, so I'm mid-round. This is for my daughter, Bingo. I got from last year's anniversary cakes. We each got a colorway, and I wanted to make a throw blanket for everyone in the family. I already made Chomp's. Now I'm working on Bingo's. Hers is a knit blanket, and that's why it's taking much longer. It is called the Garter Ridges Throw. It's a free pattern from Premier. It was originally using Premier Puzzle, but I'm using an anniversary cake. This stitch marker is when you saw it last, and this is where it is. It is, I'm supposed to do it to 44 and a half, 46 and a half inches, somewhere around there. I'm getting close. I measured it from the bottom to that stitch marker and it was like 21 inches. So I've just about doubled it. The cake is finally starting to collapse. So I am visibly using the cake. We'll see. I'm going to make it until I feel like it's big enough and then I'll put the upper border on it. But I will be curious to see what it looks like when it reaches, you know, Erin, just read the pattern. 44 and a half inches long. And like I said, it's the garter columns throw from Premier. There's the name down there. You can see all of my calculations and keeping track written all over the pattern. So there we go. Good progress, I think, has been made on the Caron-O-Rama bag. It isn't a bag. Caron-O-Rama project. Now, let's look at my Sis Love project. This, I had decided I was going to make all of the Sis Love shawl variations. The patterns are free. All they ask is that you give them credit when you show it. So here we go. Sis Homemade Sis Love shawl. This is the shawl that started it all. What's her name? Joanna Grzelak, Grzelak. I'm so sorry. There is very little chance I pronounced that correctly. This has charts and written instructions. I don't know if my printer went funny, but my charts do not look good. So I am using the written instructions very nicely. And when we were talking about this, I had only selected my yarn. I am using Hobby, some Universe Halloween from Hobby. This color, I don't recall, it's color 3, Sparkle. It had something to do with zombies. I don't remember the name though. I am using, the yarn suggested a 3.5 millimeter hook. The pattern suggested a 3.5 millimeter hook. So I am for the first time using my Prim 3.5 millimeter hook. I do feel like the yarn drags a little bit on this plastic, but I'm making it work. The shawl I am on, I have finished round 16 and I have started round 17. And here it is. So progress has been made. I think it's turning out lovely. I don't know if the sparkle is coming through right now, but it's got a beautiful sparkle. When I was still here, I was a little worried it was stiff, but as it gets bigger and some of the lacier bits come in, it's definitely getting some better flow. So there you go. I did question, Erin, are you using too thick of a yarn or too small of a needle? But no, I'm liking it. I guess I could stop here and have a little... That's not how you would wear it. This is how you would wear it. Little head thing if I put a little tie on it. But no, we are taking this to the end. Round 7, we're on round 17 now. I'm loving it. It is one of the patterns that I collected way back when, before I knew how to crochet, and something I always wanted to crochet. So again, this whole endeavor is to just start doing things I've always wanted to do and make them happen. It is in my Michael's bag. And then, let's see what else I have. Okay, we have the Webs We Weave series, which is where I am making fiber spider shawls. So, I have begun my fiber spider shawl. I have finished the first cake, and I am well into the second. I had 3 cakes of this Mandala Sparkle. I stopped mid-round there, so I think you might be looking. No, you flipped this, so I'm not sure there's a right side or a wrong side, but there you go. It's a good size already. Oh, there, you're seeing the sparkle there. Oh, nice. That's pretty. Okay, this is a fun one. I like it. I think you definitely see the sparkle a little better in the black than in the white and the gray, but there I think I see some. Nice flow, nice drape. I am using, as I said, Mandala Sparkle yarn and a 5mm crochet hook on this one. So this is Webs We Weave. Fiber Spider shawls. He's got so many shawls, both knit and crochet, that I want to make. I may, if we get through all of the shawls, expand it to his other patterns. I don't know, because he does have a lot of blankets I'd like to make too, and other items. The final thing I thought I would share is my Scrap It Up project, which is my projects to try to use my scrap yarns. I started making a Battenberg blanket using my fingering weight sock leftovers. I have a bunch of squares made here. These are 8 of the little squares made. And I'm using a, is this a 3 or a 3.5? A 3mm crochet hook, my dots. And I'm doing a join as you go. There you go. And I'm kind of halfway done with this round of the color squares. But here it goes. I think it's looking very cute. I like the color palette. I am making the holiday socks right now for the family. Brian's is a nice demure gray colorway, which I think would fit this color palette nicely. Chomps picked bright red, and Bingo picked for her and I sparkle yarn that has kind of a bright green. I think it's called Christmas lights or fairy lights or something. It's got a nice kind of Kelly green, red, pink, blue. Anyway, it's got a bunch of different colors that are much brighter than the kind of muted palette I have here. I will cross that bridge when I get to it. I still have so much. Like some of these, I have well over 50 grams of yarn left. So, I don't know. But it is going to take over 1,000 itty bitty squares to make it according to the blanket pattern. I was going to say parameters. Like, that's not right, Erin. But here you go. I really, really like it. I guess maybe I was holding it so the squares were diamonds. So maybe this way is more accurate. I don't know if it matters which way you decide you want to orient your blanket. It's your blanket. It's going to keep you warm. Is this going to take me forever and a day? Oh, yeah. Is it fun? Yeah, I enjoy it. One I have noticed, I think I might seam my granny square blankets poorly because a couple of my blankets have started to come apart where I've seamed them and I've had to redo it. So I'm glad. I think it has something to do with how I was cutting the yarn when I was seaming it. So I think this kind of joining as I go technique, so I just have a live yarn I'm never cutting, I'm just going around and around, is very, very helpful to that end. So this is by Cherry Heart Designs. No, that's I had printed up some of the Anne Rigord squares that was there. Yep, Cherry Heart Designs. Sandra Paul. Cherry Heart Designs. Let me see. This is a free pattern. You can get it on Ravelry. If I recall, Ravelry takes you to her website where you then can download a free PDF. And here it is. It's based off of the Battenberg. I was going to say tart, but I believe it's a cake. There you go. It's kind of a checkerboard cake. Very fun. So there you go. I am making progress. I am working on these. Even if it seems like all I'm doing is adding more and more projects to my never-ending Whip Island. I have more citizens of Whip Island. I do. But it makes me happy. I'm, beginning the projects I've always wanted to do. And let's do that. Let's use the pretty yarn, use everything we want, and just have fun with it. Why not? I have had some questions. If you would like to participate along with me, I very much encourage it. And definitely send me pictures, and I will include them when I do the update for that particular project. I don't have any gathered or ready to do today, so when I do the next Webs We Weave update, I'll share. I've had a couple of people send me their fiber spider shawls. The fiber spider shawl I'm making is called the Granny Merge. I think that's the one I didn't name. Sislove, Granny Merge, the Garter Ridges blanket, and the Battenberg blanket. I also, for scraps, have a ever-expanding fingering weight granny square, but I haven't added anything to that yet. When my yarn isn't enough to make more squares for the Battenberg blanket, I will put the last of it into the granny square blanket. And then I will claim any labels, because I don't get to claim labels until the yarn is gone or to a point where I feel it's not usable for any other purpose. There you go. I'd love to know if you've had any sort of explosion in projects, what you're making, what's exciting you. Are you joining me in any of these endeavors? I'm also doing a flax sweater. I'm doing the flax for my family. The Mosaic Madness, I did not update that. I think those are the only two I didn't grab. The Webs We Weave, Flax for the Family I didn't grab. Sislove I grabbed, Mosaic Madness. Yeah, I believe that's right. I'm going to have to cross out that other one because we're not going to do that right now. I'll keep you in suspense because I think at some point I will feel the urge to start that idea, but it's not going to be this week. Love to you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.